Matt. This is our question we got. The school that Stefan goes to is selling tickets to the total performance. On the first day of ticket sales, the high school sold 3 senior citizen tickets and 1 child ticket for a total of $38. The school took in $52 on the second day by selling 3 senior citizen tickets and 2 child tickets. Find the price of the citizen ticket and the price of a child ticket.
Yeah.
Okay, so X is for our seniors ticket prices and Y is for our child ticket prices. The systems we came up with for the first day is 3x plus 1y equals 38, and the second day is 3x plus 2y equals 52. To graph it, you have to get y by itself for the formula y equals mx plus b. So what you have to do is you take 3x plus 1y equals 38. You have to subtract 3x from each side, so it makes it y equals negative 3x plus 38. And that's the new equation for day 1. This is for day 2, which you have to do the same thing. 3x plus 2y equals 52 minus 3x from both sides. So that makes it 2y equals negative 3x plus 52. And then you have to divide the 2 from the y to get y by itself. So that makes it y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 26. Okay, so to graph those two things we just did, you have to go, for the first one, you have to go to up 38 on the graph, 38. Then you have to go down 3 points and to the right 1. So you do that all the way down until you get to the bottom. Down 3 over 1 all the way to the bottom. And then for the next one, you go up to 26, down 3 over 2, all the way down 3 over 2, the whole way down, to make the graphs. And then you graph, or you find where the 2 lines meet, which is 8 and 14, and that's what you get.
We're going to take one of these equations and we're going to try to get one of the variables alone. And then we decided to do 3x plus 1y equals 38. And we decided to get y alone, so we did subtract 3x from both sides. So for y alone, it would be y equals negative 3x plus 38. After you get your y alone, you want to go up to your second problem, which would be 3x plus 2y equals 52. And you want to plug in y, so it would be 3x plus 2, and then in parentheses, negative 3x plus 38 equals 52. And then after you multiply the 2 numbers, you would get 3x minus 6x plus 76 equals 52. And then you're going to want to combine like terms. So it would be negative 3x plus 76 equals 52. And then you got subtract 76 from both sides and get negative 3x equals negative 24. And then you would want to divide by 3. And then after you divide by 3, you should get x equals 8. You start with another equation. You either pick the first or second one. In this case, we chose the first one. And you would want to plug in your x. And then so we did, and then 3, and then in parentheses, 8 plus 1y equals 38. And then 3 times 8 would equal 24, so you'd get 24 plus 1y equals 38. Then you would want to subtract 24 from both sides to get y alone. So then you'd get 1y equals 14, and then you want to divide by 1y, and then you should get y equals 14.
Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're doing elimination, which is you eliminate one of the variables to get the other variable. So for this one, you have 3x plus 1y equals 38, and 3x plus 2y equals 52. So you can't eliminate anything there, so you have to make one positive. So we're going to do the x's. So we're going to times the top by negative 1. So you times all of these by negative 1. So the new equation would be negative 3x minus 1y equals negative 38. And then you keep the bottom one because you don't have to change it. So it would be 3x plus 2y equals 52. So now what you're going to do is add them. So the x's, 3x, the negative 3x and the 3x cancel. And the 2 and the 1 would make 1y. And the negative 38 plus 52 is 14. So since you have 1y, you divide it by 1 to get y by itself, which is y equals 14. So for this one, you're going to take what you got for y and plug it into one of your original equations. So what we did was we took the second one, 3x plus 2y equals 52, when we plugged 14 in for y. So 3x plus 2 times 14 equals 52. So so it'd be 3x plus 28, because 2 times 14 is 28, equals 52, minus 28 from each side. So it'd be 3x equals 24, and then you divide by 3 to get x by itself, which would be x equals 8.
For the three variable systems, we had to do 3x plus 2y minus z equals -4. And then for the other equation, we had to do -3x minus 3y minus 3z equals 3. And then for the third equation, -3x minus y minus z equals -7. You're going to want to label these 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to want to pick two of the best equations, and you have to cancel out one of the variables to choose equation 1 and 3. And the first equation was 3x plus 2y minus z equals -4, and then 3 was -3x minus y minus z equals -7. And the 3x would cancel out, so you would get 1y equals 2z equals -11. And then for the next one, we chose equations 1 and 2. 3x plus 2y minus z equals -4, and -3x minus 3y minus 3z equals 3. And then both the 3x's cancel out, so it'd be 1y equals 4z equals 1. And whatever you got on your last two answers, your equations, you're going to want to star them, and then write out an equation for both of them, and it'd be -1y minus 4z equals 1. Then the other one would be 1y minus 2z equals -11. And then you're going to want to find z. So then the y's would cancel out. You would get 6z equals -12. And you would want to divide by 6z, and then z would end up equaling 2. Take one of your start equations and plug it in for z. So we chose -1y minus 4z equals 1. And then when it's plugged in, it would be -1y minus 4, and then parentheses 2 equals 1. And then you would get -1y plus 8 equals 1. And then you're going to want to subtract 8 from both sides, and that will get you y equals -7. You want to take one of the three equations and plug in x. You're going to want to find x. So we got 3x plus 2y minus z equals -4. You're going to want to plug in 7. So it'd be 3x plus 2, and then in parentheses -7, and then you're going to want to subtract 2 equals -4. Then you would get 3x plus 14 minus z equals -4. And then you would get 3x minus 16 equals -4, and you're going to want to add 16 to both sides, and that would equal 12. And then the 3x, you would want to divide to get your x, and for x we got just 4.
So what you want to do is you want to graph these so x is greater than 0, so you're going to go to 0 and mark the x all the way across the line, and then you get y is greater than 0, so you want to go to y and graph it all the way up, and then you want to graph this y is less than x plus 1, so this would be y, so you go 1, and then up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, all the way up. And then x is less than 4, so you go to 4 over and then mark up. You want to mark the points, then you want to shade the middle. So you should have 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these are our 4 points we got. And then, so it's asking for what the max is. So to find the max, you have to plug the 4 points into this equation, p equals 10x plus 30y. So what you want to do is you plug your x, what you got for your x, and for x, what you got for your y, and for y. So the first one, you do 10 times 4 plus 30 times 0 equals 40. 10 times 0 plus 30 times 0 equals 0. 10 times 0 plus 30 times 1 equals 30. 10 times 4 plus 30 times 5 equals 190. So you want to take the max, whatever one has the most, since it's asking for the max, which is 190. So the max is 190 at 4 and
Come da poca picchita va bene, se tu la parla miezza America.